This video was brought to you in part by the supporters of the AMTV Patreon. Thank you. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and it's time for another Steelbook unboxing. The latest Doctor Who Steelbook has been released, and this time we're going to be looking at Doctor Who the 50th Anniversary Specials, comprising of episodes that originally aired on the 50th anniversary year in 2013. As always, let's look at this gorgeous artwork. We have been gifted with images of Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor, David Tennant as the 10th, you've got Rose or the Bad Wolf there, Jenna Coleman, of course, the incumbent companion at the time, and John Hurt's War Doctor, probably the biggest revelation of that year, standing tall in the background. And lots of Daleks, because, you know, 50th anniversary Daleks, they've kind of got to be there. For those wondering, this artwork was designed by the marvellous Lee Binding. Go and check him out on Twitter. He has done numerous Doctor Who works over the years, including the artwork for the collection Blu-ray sets, as well as many other fantastic projects. I always like it's a little detail about how the colours pop on the screwdrivers, like on the 11ths and the 10ths there, they just pop that little bit more. It's a very small detail, but I quite like it. As you can see, it's rated PG, and we're going to swizzle on to the back. Oh, there's the spine, of course, using the current logo, and see what this thing includes. So here is the back image for anyone curious. As you can see, you've got the TARDIS crashing into some Daleks, which was a scene from Day of the Doctor itself, the War Doctor's TARDIS. Again, just a very great standout image. It's a great way to get the TARDIS in there, and it's just, I mean, look at it, man. It's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And also, we have to check what is actually on this thing. There's not actually that many stories. You've got the name of the Doctor, the day of the Doctor, the time of the Doctor, and an adventure in space and time. Those are what each of the four main discs are dedicated to. Name of the Doctor, of course, did appear on the Series 7 Blu-ray set because it is part of Series 7, although I get why they've included it here. I mean, it is part of that Of the Doctor trilogy. It introduces John Hurt's War Doctor only at the very end, so it does make sense why it's on here, even though it's already been out already. The Day of the Doctor, of course, is the 50th anniversary special. There was no way that wasn't going to make an appearance, so glad to have it here. Time of the Doctor was the Christmas special that followed about a month later. It was also the final Matt Smith adventure as the 11th Doctor. Sad to see him go. But again, I do quite enjoy that story. It's not my favourite Christmas special, nor is it my favourite regeneration story, but a very nice fitting send-off for the 11th Doctor, in my opinion. An Adventure in Space and Time is the docudrama, sort of looking back at how Doctor Who was first made back in the early 1960s, starring David Bradley, who plays William Hartnell, amongst an assortment of great actors, including Sacha Dhawan, the current Master. So many good performances, so very happy to have that on Blu-ray. But I think the main thing people will be interested in with this release is going to be the bonus features. So let's see what we have been gifted here. We've got the Night of the Doctor, which was the 8th Doctor ending, if you like, because of course Paul McGann hadn't had a regeneration then, so it's nice for him to get a little send-off. It's a little 6-7 minute clip, really great to have that. The Name of the Doctor behind the scenes, of course, makes sense. Doctor Who, the Ultimate Guide. Now, I think that was like an hour and a half, 2 hour, basically very brief history of Doctor Who, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they had that on BBC 3. You've got Behind the Lines, The Day of the Doctor, a little behind the scenes there. Script to Screen, the 50th read-through. The Last Day, which again I believe was like a little prequel to the 50th, set on Gallifrey. Tales from the TARDIS, you've got the cinema intros from the Doctor and Strax, because The Day of the Doctor was screened in cinemas in 3D, I think, or I might have got that wrong. But I do find it funny. I remember even then they were like, these will never ever be released, and here they are. It all comes back around in the end. Trailers, of course, Behind the Lens for Time of the Doctor, yes, A Night with the Stars, The Science of Doctor Who. That was the Brian Cox presented programme, right? Again, another hour-long thing, I think. It's great to have that here. Farewell to Matt Smith, a very fitting tribute to him at the end of his era. William Hartnell, the original, which is obviously in tribute to the man who played the first Doctor. The Making of an Adventure in Space and Time. Nice reconstruction scenes from An Unearthly Child, the pilot, and the regeneration, so using new actors to refilm those scenes that were going to be an adventure in space and time. Awesome. You've got deleted scenes, The Farewell to Susan, Festive Greeting, title sequences, I'll just Doctor Who at the Proms 2013 at the bottom, but the big one that interested me was the Five-ish Doctors. This was a great sort of comedy parody love letter of Doctor Who, which was made and directed by Peter Davison himself, the Fifth Doctor, and mainly starring him, Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, and Sylvester McCoy, the Seventh Doctor. Now, at the time, this was only available on like iPlayer and the Red Button for about a year, and then it was never re-released again. The only way I think you could get it was via the special 50th anniversary DVD Blu-ray box set they released back in the day. I think it was on there, which draws me to my next point. I think all of these special features, like a lot of these steelbooks, have been released before. I don't think there's anything necessarily brand new. However, I would argue some of them, like the Five-ish Doctors, are now becoming more widely accessible for the first time, because that box set before, I know these are limited edition, but that box set I remember being really hard to get the first time round, and as soon as it went out it got stupidly expensive. So now is your chance to experience the Five-ish Doctors and all of these stories, so if you want it, you better get your copy fast. So even though there's only 4 main stories, 3 from Doctor Who and the docudrama on here, I am glad they have really bolstered it out with the special features that I think they were always going to with this set. It would have made absolute sense. If they'd have cheaped out and hardly gone into anything, then there would have been absolute outrage, let me tell you. But let's open this up, shall we? See what it looks like on the inside. So as always, you just get a little slip card saying Doctor Who, the 50th Anniversary Specials. Neat seeing that poster with the Jodie era logo. And on the back, it's just got what is on each disc. It also tells you what special features are on each disc, which will be a really useful guide in that respect. And we've also got a little brochure, more exciting products from Doctor Who, and people say merchandising is dead. You've got the Time Fracture Theatre thing coming up. You've got all the various games, VR games. You have Worlds Apart, which is the trading card game coming out, which I don't think anyone is really excited for. You've got Time Lord Victorious, of course, with its long winding timeline there. You've got the live escape game, A Dalek Awakens, and you've got various calendars, diary, and greeting cards. Excellent. And subscribe to the Doctor Who newsletter for more information. I already am subscribed, and you should be too if you want that info. Before we open it up, here is this wonderful artwork presented, well, without that little slip cover on the front there, and on the back as well, the full shot of the TARDIS there smashing into the Daleks. That looks absolutely stunning. So here are the discs, and I believe these are actually all new disc designs from what I've seen. So we have a Name of the Doctor there. You've got Day of the Doctor featuring 10 and 11. You've got Time of the Doctor appropriately featuring Matt Smith there. And you've got Adventure in Space and Time with the First Doctor and Susan. Nice. And in the background, I won't take the discs out, but you've got that shot of Matt Smith there, David Tennant there. So nice they've gone with new disc designs as well, because I believe a lot of the past releases just use existing disc designs, which is fine. But always nice when we get something a little bit new, isn't it? So, we've seen the contents of the steelbook, we've seen what's on it, and we've seen what it looks like inside. So, the overall question is this worth picking up? I would say absolutely yes. I know some people have complained about these steelbooks that, you know, besides the nice artwork, you're not really getting anything new, you know, it's the same sort of Blu-ray releases, and whilst that may be true, as I sort of mentioned, with some of the special features in this set in particular, I think it's absolutely worth it. Like, for me, again, using the Five-ish Doctors as the example, I didn't have a way to own that. After 2014, when it disappeared off iPlayer and the Red Button, I had no means to watch that in full. I mean, yes, people say, oh, you can do it illegally. I don't like doing things illegally. It's not right, is it? So this is now my first time in 7 years I'll be able to watch the Five-ish Doctors again. So if there's special features on here like that, or some of the BBC programmes at the time celebrating the 50th that you want to rediscover, then this is an absolute must-buy. I mean, you get the 50th anyway, you get Matt Smith's Farewell, you get the Adventure in Space and Time, which is one of the best docudramas ever, and I know I'm a bit biased, but I have shown this to people who don't know anything about Classic Who, or know very little about Classic Who, and they've fallen in love with it. They've absolutely loved it. So I'd say out of all of the Steelbook releases so far, as they've been going through the new series, this is probably like the must-buy, or one of the must-buys. Obviously, you've got your favourite seasons, you can get that as well, but I would pick it up anyway. Where you can get this from? Well, I got my copy from Amazon. I believe there's a lot of disclosure about Zoom at the minute and whether they're going out of business. They've cancelled pre-orders and stuff. They were selling this, so I'd say you can buy it on Zoom for now. Also places like Zavi, HMV. The going price is sort of between £25 and £28, depending on where you're buying this from. Although, please, again, do be warned, as soon as these go out of stock and they don't get restocked, they will start going for silly prices on second-hand sites. I mean, the Series 1 Steelbook, again, I think is still in triple figures, which is insane. Don't let this be the case. If you want a copy, get it whilst it's still relatively affordable. But thank you very much for watching this unboxing. If you enjoyed it, I recently released a compilation video looking at all of my Doctor Who steelbooks that I have, which include a lot of the new series and some classic series releases as well. So do go and check that out if you want to see more steelbook action. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. Let me know in the comments. Are you going to pick this set up? Is it one you're going to miss? Do you already own the first box set they released back in the day? Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time.